All right, back again with another episode of Hell No Podcast. I'm Nas. That's Amir. I'm the father. He's the son. Football's back, baby. UFC's back. We're about to get into the meat and potatoes of everything now. So, what you got? What you thinking?
Yep, we'll lead it off with UFC 330, headlined by Islam Makhachev versus Ian Garry. Um, we can start from the bottom of the card. Did you see anything notable that we need to hit on from any of the prelims or early fights on the main card?
Not really. The one thing we can hit off is there was two fights that had legends in them that potentially could be their last fights. I kind of grew up watching Edison Barboza, and Vicente Luque. These guys have been around for a long, long time. They were practically unbeatable, in their heyday. But Father Time catches up with
Yeah.
everyone,
Well,
and it caught
Barboza
up to them.
retired, so
Barboza.
he
This
needed
was
to.
kind of, yeah. Well, this is the UFC's kind of farewell paycheck for him because he really didn't make big money when he was coming up. Now that bonuses and the money is out there, they're kind of just doing him a solid and saying, you know what, here's one. We're gonna put you on this card and we're gonna give you a farewell payday.
Yeah.
Vicente might have another fight in him or two, but they're gonna kind of do the same thing with him. But other than that, it was a good card. It wasn't a great card. You know, uh,
Agreed.
Jalen Turner, he had some mental issues and he didn't feel like punching people in the face anymore. So they gave him one of the up and coming guys, Caio Fernandez, who's a solid leg kicker, and he smoked him.
Yeah.
So Jalen Turner kind of announced to the UFC that he's back and he's doing Jalen Turner type things.
And that other
Um,
dude, Stoltzfus, had the big upset on Abdul Malik, and
One
he
of
looked
the
like he was
biggest
dominating that fight the whole time. That wasn't even
he
like a.
was. He was. What people don't know is they trained together.
Oh, I didn't know
So
that.
they were in the same gym. So he kind of knew Malik's tendencies. But even though he was, outmatched the whole time, he was a huge underdog. So he was like -7, plus
Yeah.
750 coming back
Mm-hmm.
on Stolfus, and he kind of just took it to him from the beginning. And it's what you have to do to a guy that big and that athletic. You
Mm-hmm.
have to put him on their back foot, and he put him on his back because you can't have that big truck just coming downhill on you. He would smoke him. And Stolfus just came in with an excellent game plan, and did what he had to do. He earned himself probably another contract or another payday. He made himself kind of a little bit of money by the upsetting you know, Malik.
Abdul Malik, yeah. And
Um,
then we get to Mackenzie Dern, always good, and looks like
well,
she really
before
didn't.
McKin, that was. We'll get to that, but
Yeah.
the shocker was the opening fight of the card. That was Mektek Orbai against Jonathan Wells, who's a 39-year-old Philadelphia native.
Yep.
He was a heavy, heavy underdog, and he choked one of the most dangerous guys in the division out. Like, completely put him out. No one saw that coming. Everyone had order by winning, running away. And Jonathan, something's to be said when you're fighting in your heyday in your own hometown, and the juices are flowing, and you want to
Yep.
show out. And he's a one hitter quitter, and no one would have picked him to choke this guy out. Everybody would have picked him, probably get lucky and land a haymaker and knock him out. That's what everybody was predicting. If he had any chance of winning, no one saw the choke or the submission coming whatsoever. So that was really impressive by Wells. Other than that, all the other fights, there was a few good fights, not great fights. Mackenzie Dern smoked
Yeah. It
Robertson.
wasn't close.
That was a horrible fight for Jillian Robertson. I don't
Yeah.
think she'll ever get to this position to
No.
be, where she's fighting for a title. Just won't happen. You had your chance and you got absolutely smoked.
Mackenzie Dern's levels above, and you could just tell that the skill gap was wide in that fight. Um, I mean, I don't really have any other way to break it
There was
down.
a little extra motivation for her too, because throughout the whole fight week, you know, Jillian Robertson was talking trash about how she's got the most submissions and she's the superior grappler. Mackenzie Dern came out and said, "You know what? Since you want to talk that, I'm gonna show you what kind of levels we have here."
Yeah.
And went out there and absolutely just destroyed. Not only in grappling, she destroyed her on the feet.
Yeah.
She wouldn't let her get off. Looked like she was stuck in quicksand. She couldn't punch. She couldn't get off. She couldn't get her down. She couldn't defend a takedown. She had actually her coach, Dean Thomas,
Yep.
resigned from coaching her
Yep.
right after the fight.
Saw that.
You know, I didn't agree with the way he did it. Honestly, I don't like. I mean, you could have waited another and said, you know what? He kind of came out and said, you know what? I'm just announcing this right now. I took her as far as I can take her, and I told her that I'd get her this far. But I'm not there for the cut weight. Then you don't have to share all that.
Yeah.
I mean, you're either with her or you're not with her, and whether she's cut weight
It's
or not,
weak.
it's kind of low. I mean, and he, the thing is, he coaches a lot of top guys. Like, he's a coach, and he's in the gyms. So for him to do that, I thought was very, very low. Like, I didn't agree with the fact that you just don't toss her under the bus right after the fight, after she got smoked. Like, you know what? Wait and do it the next day and say, announce it on Twitter. You know what? I will no longer. But I thought that was kind of classless on his part.
100% agree.
I didn't agree with that whatsoever.
Yeah.
Oh.
But, the main one that drew everybody in, the main event, the potential GOAT himself, Islam Makhachev, took on Ian Garry. And I will say I thought Ian Garry fought a good fight. I think he did what he had to do. I have my critiques with him, but ultimately Islam's a different animal. He's one of the most technically refined fighters we've ever seen. He really doesn't have a weak point in his entire game. He is the ultimate grappler. His striking is better than his predecessor, Khabib.
100%.
He's the guy. He's the baddest man on the planet right now, and he has been for a while. And Ian Garry fought a good fight but couldn't get it done. I will say, I agree. I don't know if you saw after, but Dana went after him, talking about how he was just.
Yeah, all the
I agree with
and the hugging and stuff like that.
I agree with him, to be honest, though. You're in a fight, quit hugging him and dabbing him up, and you're in a. This is a main event fight. You don't. Dana said he doesn't have that killer instinct that the greats have, and he's right. You don't see any of them doing that.
No, but that's why I disagree with you. I don't think he fought a great fight. I think he fought a flawed.
He fought a good fight.
No, he didn't fight. I mean, look, he's the bigger guy.
100%.
He's the longer guy.
Yep.
He's the taller guy.
Yeah.
The one thing that was working for him was the leg kicks. He was crushing the body with the leg kicks.
But he was just hitting him with these weak oblique kicks.
Well, he just stood there.
Yeah.
He didn't come forward. He just kind of stood there waiting for Islam to come. It was almost like he was guarding against the takedown.
He was.
All the talk about, if he gets me down, I can get back up. Well, you know what? When you're fighting in a title fight, you have to go get the title.
Mm-hmm.
The title's not coming to you. I'm sorry. You know what? And he didn't fight the fight that he was supposed to fight. You're a longer guy. You know what? You could have stuck that jab out, the whole fight. You could have kicked him, wore his legs out, wore the shin out. You would have improved your chances of winning had you just come forward, since you're the longer, bigger, and taller guy, and put the pressure on Islam. You know what? Islam had a hard time when he would get him down and keep him down.
He did.
Because that's how big he was. He
did that in round 3, and then very well, and then kind of never really went back to it. Round 4, he kind of just kept his distance and hit him with those kicks, but round 3 he did it very well, and he just, I don't know, he didn't get back to that. He let Islam just control the whole fight, shoot him, and that's all Islam needed to do was just. Yeah. He just controlled him.
You can't allow the champ to dictate the dance.
Yeah.
If you want the belt.
Truth.
You have to go out there and you have to put the onus on him. You're the bigger guy. He moved up to your division. It's not like he came down a division.
Yep.
He moved up to your division. You talk trash all week. You were screaming from the hilltops that you wanted Islam because you're not Jack Maladalena, you're not these other guys, and you didn't do nothing with it.
Nope.
You didn't do nothing with it. And I agree 100% with Dana. You shouldn't be. Even Islam came out and said, no, I don't know.
I agree.
We're trying to punch each other in the face. No
Quit
guy
hugging me. Don't hug me and do
fight,
all this.
You hug me. Oh, you know what? After the fight, if you want to come hug me, okay, fine.
You can give each other respect. But
I mean, even after the first round, when he had him on the ground and he got up, he's rubbing Islam's head on the way back. Like
he did that every round.
All that does is give him acknowledged to Islam that you're doing good.
You have a weak point.
Yeah, so I thought he fought a wrong fight. I honestly thought that, you know what, he had a better chance of winning had he come forward and used his kicks high and low, wear him down, and improve his chances of winning. Even Islam said it, hard to fight, make good fight when guy just stand there. It's hard to make good fight.
Yeah.
Which is true.
Yeah.
I mean, he's tried to use his length. He had his arms extended the whole time towards Islam. In other words, saying, you know what, I'm not going to let you hit me, but I'm also guarding for this takedown because you know what, you're superior takedown.
Of course.
I think he felt Islam's power. And you know what, Islam kind of wore himself out a little bit in the first couple of rounds.
He did.
Trying to take him down. All that tightening and all that gripping, all that holding, eventually you get wore out, like to the point where Islam looked like he was breathing heavy, going into the fourth and fifth round. But he is so much more superior endurance than any of these guys, even when he's breathing heavy. He has that second wind that's going to kick in, and it's called the championship mentality, and he absolutely has it in spades. So, good fight. Not a great fight. Good fight for Islam to get by. Now they just line up. It's
Praches next.
100%. Yeah. I mean, even Islam said.
I mean, he wore it on his shirt. I'm next.
Yeah, I mean, Prates is next. But I think Prates is going to be an easier fight than Ian Garry.
I disagree.
The monster is the other.
Prates is a harder fight than Garry.
No,
I still think Islam wins, but
I think Prates can be taken down much easier, and I think Prates can be held down. Okay. Prates is only good when he's coming forward, throwing kicks, elbows, and punches when he gets momentum going.
Yeah, but Islam let Ian Garry get a couple of kicks, and I mean, he got right back up. I think if Prates lands those kicks, those give Islam more trouble. Definitely more than just a stun.
But if Islam gets Prates down one time, it's all he needs. He's probably going to end up choking him out just one time because he ain't getting up like Ian Garry.
Yeah.
Prates is not getting up like Ian Garry. Once he puts that vice grip on you, it's a different kind of vice grip. Ian Garry was just so big and long, it was hard for him to wrap him up to keep him down because, it's a 6'3" guy. How you going to corral this dude? I think he's going to have a harder time with Michael Morales. Michael Morales he's a Mack truck, and he hits hard. But, and he can grapple, but it's the same thing. Those big muscles eventually, if you get them into deep waters, into the second, third, fourth, fifth round, that lactic acid kind of wears in and those muscles kind of just deflate. So Islam is not dumb. Khabib will have a game plan, and they will stay away from the danger, to the third round, fourth round, and then they'll drag him into deep waters just like he's done a lot of these other guys. But I think that's the order it's going to go in. You might have go in there. I mean, look, Morales is going to be a tough out, but I think it's going to be Prates Morales.
Prates next. I mean, many speculated that Islam would retire after this fight, and he said no. There's going to be. I mean, he said he wants to fight again before Ramadan, which would be before February of 2026.
December or January.
January. He
said,
knows his time is. He said, I'm 34. I need to get this. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I think honestly, I think he wants to get to 20 consecutive wins and just
Yeah,
shut it down.
I could see it. 100%.
Right now he's at
Be
17.
it
He
32
just
and 1, 20
yeah,
consecutive wins. At that
breaking
point,
Anderson Silva's record is monumental. It's huge.
yeah, but at that
You
point, I
know,
mean, you are what? He's 32 and 1 with 20 consecutive wins. I mean, how much more of a GOAT argument can he have?
oh, he's
Especially
already the
having
GOAT.
ran through lightweight. He's going to have run through welterweight.
Yeah, he's already the GOAT.
You think so?
Yeah, he's already the GOAT. I mean, yeah,
I
you
mean,
know what I
that's
mean.
not like it's nothing crazy to say. People, I'm sure
I
you'd have a
mean,
lot of people
look,
agree with you,
look.
but
Let me tell you something. Justin Gaethje right now has a belt.
mhm.
Okay. Now, if you go back and you look at his resume, and when you go down the list, you go, you know what? You don't even have to go all the way down. You could just start with Gaethje, Poirier, Volkanovski twice, Jack Maladalena, Ian Garry. I mean, you don't even have to say any more. All these guys have been champions.
Yep,
All these guys have held the belt.
yep,
How can you not say that this guy is absolutely a beast? He's a monster, and it's one of those things, that the prophecy of Khabib's dad, Abdul
Abdul
Manap,
Manap,
saying, that Khabib will have his run,
and then
he
Islam
will
will
be
take over.
champion, and then he'll retire, and then Islam will come next, and he will do the same thing and be champion. And now we have Usman coming over from PFL, and he's the next killer, like Islam says.
We'll see.
And God knows, how far he goes, but
Big
it's
footsteps to fill.
it's gonna be hard to kind of match what Islam is doing and continues to do.
Yep,
So that's a big notch in his belt, getting this win over Ian Garry.
100% agree. Well, that's that. What do you have next for us?
Next is, you know what? I think we should touch on this cease and desist letter that Jayden
Jayden
Daniels wanted
Daniels,
to send to LSU.
LSU.
Big mistake.
You know,
Huge mistake.
so Jayden Daniels sends a cease and desist for LSU to stop using all of his NIL, his name, image, and likeness, over a number dispute because Lane Kiffin has granted DJ Pickett permission to wear number 5, a number he's worn his whole career. Jayden Daniels thinks
Who,
that's
by the
disrespectful.
way, was promised that number in the recruiting.
True.
So, it's not like he just up and said, "I want number 5." So,
Jaden, what are you doing? And a part of instead, a part of me feels like it's not like him; it's his like agents and his mom or whatever. I don't know, but it's
It is.
stupid. You did have a legendary year at LSU. You won the Heisman, of course. You were a highlight reel every single game. But what did you win? You didn't win a natty. You didn't
Let me tell you
win a
something.
playoff game.
let me tell you something. The guy that won the Natty, won the Heisman, had the most prolific football college season ever.
He's getting his number retired.
His number, it's not retired yet.
Okay, but it is.
But I'm saying,
And don't compare
it's
yourself
not
to him.
retired yet. No, don't compare yourself to him. But you know what? I think this is sad for him because he's gonna turn off a lot of LSU fans.
100%. He already has.
He's gonna lose a lot of fans in the world of sports.
Mhm.
I mean, he's becoming a meme.
He's already a huge meme. Yep. 100.
Yeah,
yep.
some people have taken the 5-yard line off the field because
Respect for
to-
Jayden Daniels.
So you can't plead the fifth anymore. You plead the fifth.
The
You
fifth.
can't- so it's just that it's just the timing is absolutely wrong. Like, you know
It's
what?
horrible.
Let this guy have the number. Let him play with the number, and maybe 2-3 years down the road, LSU will say, "Hey, all right, you know what? It's time to take this number and put it on the shelves, and kind of make it, it's
I'm not
untouchable
even
type
going to
thing.
give him
Like,
the grace of that. You had a crazy season, but that doesn't warrant a jersey retirement. Like,
hell no.
hell no. Like, what are we, like, we're just moving the goalpost.
Yeah, he's he's
They
just
didn't even make the college football playoff that year, right?
he's misguided, man. You know what? I heard someone say, you know what? Like, it's time for Jayden to grow up and leave mama's nest.
Yeah, I'd agree.
Become a man, make your own decisions. You know what? Build your relationships and don't worry about that other stuff. Don't that stuff will handle itself eventually. Right now, it's the timing is absolutely wrong. You're coming off of an injury-plagued season. You're in training camp about to start a season. You have other things to worry about other than
stuff to prove.
The number 5. You should be worrying about retiring number 5 with the Washington Commanders is what you should be worried about.
Yes.
Because that's who's paying you right now. You shouldn't be worried about what you did and who's wearing your number and who's going to do this. I mean, there's been plenty of guys that wouldn't have never, ever touched number 7 at LSU, as sacred as that number is.
Yep.
But you know what? When the right guy comes along, like a Patrick Peterson, like a Leonard Fournette, you know what? They give him the graces to wear that number to make sure that, you know what? Okay, you've earned the right to wear this number.
Yep.
It's not retired.
Nope.
That number could be
It's
for
a story. Everybody looks for who's wearing number 7 at LSU every year.
Yeah, of course.
Who's wearing 18? Who's wearing 7? Like, it's a situation.
Just a stupid, dumb move by his representative, by him. Even if your reps called you and said, "Hey, look, I think you ought to send it." Let's not do that. Now is not the time. You know what? That's really not important to me right now. You know what? And then he's asking for the Heisman that they give the school back. This belongs to the university. It doesn't belong to you, buddy. When you win, the first thing they say, you know what? Out of LSU, not out of Jayden Daniels, out of the University of Louisiana State. So you are a representative of that university. So, yeah, I think it was just classless, stupid, dumb, and ill timing of him to kind of bring this thing up to the forefront of the sports world and kind of diminish his, liking.
100%.
We're talking about, image and likeness. You just did a good tarnished job to your image and likeness.
Yep.
Sad to say, and I like Jayden. I just don't like the fact that, you know what? Other people are dictating to him what should be done and what should be done, and it's absolutely atrocious for him to go through this because he's unraveling himself.
I sure hope he backs it up on the field. I mean, he did get tapping some NFL news. He did just add Stephon Diggs to his list of receivers, so hopefully he can use him and Terry McLaurin and everybody else they got there to have an exciting season. But the whole LSU thing, it's sad, it's classless, and it needs to be resolved in a manner of Jayden Daniels just simply acknowledging he's wrong and his team acknowledging they're wrong.
Yeah, just shut up.
Yeah, basically.
Just shut up. Play football. You don't have to bring it up.
Well, football.
The time was absolutely wrong. So
football's finally been played. We can talk about Saints took on the Jaguars. They lost, but we're not worried about results right now.
I am. I don't want to lose.
I don't want to lose either, and we definitely should have won.
No,
let's go right to the end of the game. The last play. We had an opportunity to win the game, and I think we called a stupid play.
At that point, you know what? Honestly, you're talking about a guy that doesn't get any reps.
No.
You're talking about, a guy that if he does happen to make a play and you win the game, okay, you know what? You won the game. Yeah, there's a couple of questionable things that happened in that game in general that you can kind of question, and some of it's coaching, some of it is the onus is on the players. But you know what? I'm not really looking. There was other chances in that game for them to close it out. You had a missed field goal by your incumbent kicker. Which I think he's going to lose the job.
I
By
think
the
he'll
way,
lose the job too. I think
um,
Tanner Brown will be our kicker.
I just
Prediction,
he's been
but
inconsistent. I mean, you had one chance to come in there, make a field goal. You made two extra points, and Tanner Brown made two field goals, and he looked better. He just
yep,
looks better. He looked better. I mean, we went to practice.
yep,
We saw him kicking.
we did.
He wasn't consistent.
Nope.
He wasn't consistent. The punter, I think,
I think we
the
got to
nerves
iron out
got
the
the best.
consistency there.
Yeah, well, I think his first punt was okay. His second
It
punt was a
was.
shank.
It was bad.
But I think first game jitters. I get it. Okay, but other than that, he showed out. He had good hang time. You know, special teams just needs work. Like they have a lot of penalties. They got a lot of missed assignments. They need to work on a few things, but all in all, I think hopefully they get the special teams thing fixed before we get into the season, because that's a crucial part of what kind of held us back last year between punt return coverage, kickoff coverage, missed tackles. I think these things need to kind of be worked out. And there's a lot of penalties on like every punt, every
Yep.
kickoff. It's like everything is coming back. It's like, come on, guys. Like, you know what? You are just running down the field. You know what? Push the guy, tackle the guy, and keep it moving. Why you gotta hold on to the guy? Why you gotta have a personal foul? It's like it's stupid. I think it's nonsense.
Yep. And then
Hopefully they work that out.
I'm going to get to the top of the roster. So the quarterbacks. I thought our quarterbacks looked like this: good, mid, bad, and it went in reverse order of how it should have. Because the bad was Spencer Rattler. I think he played bad. Like there was not many redeeming many things to be positive about with Spencer Rattler's play. For mid, I'd say Hunter Deckers looked better than how I thought he would. I mean, he still probably won't make the team, but he's put something on tape to hopefully get him a spot elsewhere. And Zach Wilson played good. Zach Wilson, as of right now, should be the quarterback 2 for the Saints. He looked like decisive. He looked on time with his passes, and that's about all I could ask for from a guy who I thought was just gonna hold a clipboard and never have a chance of seeing the field.
Well, you know what? Yeah, you put Spence out there. I thought he had a very, very bad couple series. He did kind of right the ship a little bit. He had a drive where he was 5 for 5. I watched the game over again. But you put him out there as a showcase, for other teams for a potential trade, and you want that asset to kind of improve.
Yeah, you want him to look like how he looked in camp. The buzz was how good he looked in camp, and
he has. We were there.
Yeah, and he looked good.
He was pushing the ball
some
down
ducks
the field.
he threw.
But you know what?
But
it's something to be said about real bullets where
he can't fire them.
Tighten up. Some of them tighten up. And you know what? Now all of a sudden, you're not in the flow of practice and just, running it and throwing it and chucking it loose. They tighten up, and I think sometimes the moment can get to these guys where the opposite can be said for Hunter Deckers. No practice reps. What do you have to lose?
Nothing.
You go out there and you just rip it. You let it go, because at this point, it's not like you're making the team, but you know what? You really have nothing to lose anyway. You might as well just rip it and let it go and put your best foot out there. Zach Wilson looked like the second overall pick. With some of those throws that he made,
No. He didn't look like the second overall pick.
Let me tell you something.
No.
That kid was decisive. He's
True.
got a hose for an arm, and he made some throws.
He did, but he didn't look like the second overall pick.
He looked like the
He looked like a third-round pick that looks optimistic. He didn't look like the second overall pick.
He showed some stuff that is just he's evolved. You know what I mean? Look, you can go back. Sam Darnold was picked high. Geno Smith was picked high. Baker Mayfield was picked high. These guys fell flat on their face, went to multiple teams, and one of them's got a Super Bowl ring. The other one cashed in on a couple of contracts, and the third one is a serviceable guy. So,
I mean, you can only pray that he becomes close to any one of those guys.
but I mean, I said that to say this. Even Zach Wilson afterwards acknowledged that the system that he's running benefits him and makes things easy for a quarterback to go through the progressions without overthinking and clouding the field. I mean, sometimes these guys get picked high and they go to the wrong system.
Yep.
And then they just sit there and they want them to work and they want them to work and it doesn't work.
Yep.
I mean, we can go back to Minnesota, who had Daniel Jones and Sam Darnold in the building at the same time and let them both leave. So Daniel Jones goes into the right system.
And so does Darnold.
If you remember,
they were number one in offense.
They were number one, headed to the Super Bowl before he got hurt.
Okay, pump the brakes there.
That was everybody's sexy pick going to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, because they were like 8-0 or 8-1.
I understand that, but they
had the number one offense.
They looked like a polished team. So it was and the same thing for Darnold.
And then they gave him money to back up that he looked like a system fit. They gave him enough money to be their big investment. We'll see how that plays out for them because I'm personally not a fan, but of the contract, not of Daniel Jones as a player, but of the contract.
No, but I mean, if you want a quarterback, you got to pay the guy that got you to where you went before you got hurt. People say that about Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold's getting a contract.
Yeah, well, he won a Super Bowl, so that's...
Well, I mean, hell. He won a Super Bowl. You can't ask for anything more than that.
That's what I'm saying. He won a Super Bowl. Like, you're not going to pay the guy that won you a Super Bowl?
Yeah, I mean, Geno Smith, he got paid twice from 2 different teams. He didn't win a Super Bowl, but they needed a veteran, proven.
Back to the Saints. Some other guys that look good, in my opinion, on offense. I think Bub Means currently has the edge for that last receiver in. He just looked a lot better than maybe Kevin Austin or a Trey Palmer. Oscar Delp scored, which was encouraging to see. Audric Estime scored, and Estime, I really feel like should make the team. I feel like it'd be hard.
Make the team.
I mean, you think they keep 4 running backs? Or they cut Kendra? Or they cut Devin Neal? I think...
No, I think, honestly...
They got 5 running backs.
They got 6.
You got the top 2, obviously.
C.J. Donaldson is not making the team.
No, you got Travis and you got AK. So, all right, now you got a bubble of Neal, Estime, and Kendra that needs to be figured out.
Okay. Well, one thing that we know for sure
is Miller can't stay healthy.
And Estime is available, which is his best talent. And he does produce.
And he produces.
When he's taking full advantage of every opportunity that's been presented to him.
100%.
And that's all you can ask for. Now between
and he's
Devin
young.
Neal
he's not old.
Between Devin Neal and Kendra Miller.
Kendra obviously has the talent edge, but dude, you play 5 games a year.
I mean, look, I'm gonna go back to what Bill Parcells once said. What good is it to have a sports car if it's always in the garage?
Yeah.
You can have a Maserati, you can have a Lamborghini, but hell, if it's breaking down every year and you got to take it to the garage, you might as well just trade that thing in.
Oh, not to mention you got another running back. You got Ty Chandler, who returned the opening kickoff 90 yards, and you might need to hold him as a returner.
I was getting to him. Well, I mean, honestly, I read that, they would have put Barian Brown back there and Trey Palmer back there, but now that they know that Tyson is out, they need to kind of protect the receivers, and it's the reason they made Bryce Lance inactive.
Yep.
He was dressed. They were going to play him, but they got the news, and they were like, well, let's not risk.
And I would only foresee that Bryce Lance stays inactive this week, along with Barry and Brown.
Yeah, I mean, they may give Barry and Brown some return just to kind of see him, because that is their return guy. Because you really, it's tough to kind of keep, Ty Chandler based off of one big play
Yeah.
and you're exclusively one trick pony. You're like, you're not gonna touch the ball in the backfield.
Mm-mm.
So you're kind of a specialist that's with a lot of specialists on the team.
Yeah.
I'm just glad that they triple dipped in the draft at receiver because now it's kind of benefiting them.
Yep.
You know, seeing that how good Barian Brown's been playing. We've seen Bryce Lance in action, and he's mossing
Make
people in
plays.
practice. So
And we know
I
Barian
think
Brown's been making plays all of camp.
they're good, and I also think Kevin Austin makes the team.
I could see that, especially if, the bad news we just received a couple of
Right?
hours ago, Jordan Tyson potentially out until the end of September, which would put us at the Giants game in week 6, which sucks, detrimental, and I think really like a stretch you really needed Jordan Tyson is these first 4 games. Like, you got to have firepower going up against Detroit. You got to have firepower going up against Baltimore. You honestly got to have firepower going up against Atlanta. So to lose Tyson for potentially those 4 weeks is going to suck. That you cannot understate or overstate it. He has looked amazing in camp. He's looked like what he was drafted to be. He's been
100%.
stellar. He's been a playmaker. He's been everything we could have asked of him. And he won't be there for the first 2 months of the year. So that's very unfortunate. But, that's the risk that came with him.
All you can hope for is that with this opportunity, someone takes advantage.
Somebody takes advantage.
And now you discover another weapon. And by the time he makes it back,
you got another playmaker.
And you're just interjecting more firepower with a proven, player stepping up and making a name for himself. And now you just more diversified as an offense because now when one leaves the field, you can rely on the other one that comes in, without, it's going to be a drop off, but hopefully it's not much of a drop off. I'm really not too concerned. I would have loved for that to, to be the going into, especially Detroit, when you line up Tyson and you line up Olave and then you got the tight ends, just to see how they play off of each other. We're not going to get to see that anytime soon. So I think Kellen will kind of, tailor the offense more around the running game and the tight ends and kind of just so you don't get Olave hurt out there and kind of pick and choose, the game plan. It does put a little dent in his, game planning and scheming and stuff like that, which sucks, because he was looking.
He was killing.
Honestly, for a rookie, he was looking like a polished route runner already. He hasn't even stepped on a football field yet, an NFL football field.
It sucks.
He was looking like, he was losing guys with 5, 6, 7, 8 yard separation. These are NFL players.
Yeah.
So yeah, other than that, I think Oscar Delp had a couple of drops.
But he's
didn't like that. One Spence threw one behind him. If he led him to the boundary, he would have caught that. But you got to catch it. Touches your hands, you got to catch it.
Yeah.
But other than that, we really didn't play any starters,
No.
And so they look good. The only thing really that worries me is the O-line depth.
Depth, yes.
It looked really, really bad.
Looked bad.
At times, not opening holes. It's like 1 yard in a cloud of dust. It's like, come on, man.
Bad. They gotta add some pieces somehow.
I think they need a D-line piece.
Losing Dylan Radins sucks.
Horrible.
But yeah, I'd agree they need a D-line piece and an O-line piece, and segue that into the defense preseason. We got some underrated gems on the defense. There's 5 guys who look like they gotta have a spot on. Like, you gotta make room for them on the team.
Christian Miller looked like an animal.
Christian Miller was the
Okay.
highest rated PFF D lineman in all of the
Of
NFL.
any rookie.
In all the league that played in preseason.
Okay.
He had a 90 grade in his first ever NFL action.
Looked unbelievable. Shedding blocks, making tackles.
He got hurt.
Reading the running back. He got hurt, but I think.
But they said he's traveling to California.
Yeah. I think that's just a stinger. I don't think that's a long-term thing.
Let's stay on the D line. Guy Michael Heldman.
That's my guy. That's my guy.
This dude was balling. All right. I mean,
that's my guy.
2 sacks, 3 TFLs.
Forced fumble.
The forced fumble. He was just disrupting the game. Jalen Ford got himself a pick.
Yeah, all I gotta say is, I sure pray to God they don't try to stuff him on the practice squad.
No, somebody will take him.
100% somebody will snatch him up. They better make sure they don't let a guy like Trey Hendrickson get away again.
No,
because this is
you make a roster
Trey
spot for
Hendrickson
that.
2.0.
Especially if he comes out and gives you half of the production he gave you last game. In this
menace. Game. He's a menace.
Oh, he was a complete disruptor. He was popping off the screen.
Cam who? Yeah.
Oh my gosh. And then you got guys like White Chocolate. White
Oh my God. Hey, he was making plays at practice.
He was. We saw him in practice.
Jayden Price has been making plays all camp. He showed up and he showed out.
Another guy.
I'm gonna toot my own horn on this one though, okay? Because the guy that showed up and balled out and looked like he's gonna be a difference maker is Martin Emerson. That's my dude.
Mississippi State Bulldog, by the way, but Martin Emerson.
He should have had a pick 6 too.
Oh, he should have.
Man, he dropped that ball. Hey,
and I want to make it known. Smart. That whole week leading up to practice, he was killing in practice. They said he was he's popping off the best PBUs, interceptions.
Yep, him and Jayden Price have been absolutely show on the back end.
Yep.
Now, you know what? Now you look at it and you see where the depth is at cornerback.
I mean, granted, you still got to see them against the real killers at receiver that they might have to go against. But you're comfortable with them being your 4th and 5th depth pieces.
Look, the play that Jayden Price baited the quarterback into.
Oh, it was beautiful.
Is not a random play.
No.
It was a setup play. Let me make sure give him that I'm getting the guy in the flat.
Like cover 3.
I'm going to come back and jump where he's going to throw it. It's almost, he said it. We saw that in joint practice, and I knew they wanted to come back to that. That's an instinctive, cerebral player that knows how to lock that in and file it and then come back and do it again. And the same thing with Martin Emerson. He had the same type of plays on both sides of the field where he kind of baited the guy and then jumped in front of the defender. He had 3 PBUs, and all 3 of them were excellent. He was like covered, knock it down, get in front of the guy. That's going to be a strength of this team like no one's business. Now I really feel good. If Jonas goes down, Jayden Price can step in that star role.
Yeah.
That makes me feel good that, he's smart enough to do that.
That one game gave me a lot of confidence in the depth of our DBs, like no other.
We have depth for sure. 100% there's depth. There's depth at, wide receiver. There's depth at cornerback. So I think that's a good thing to have. So
just need to figure out depth set on the lines, and I mean you're fine. Hopefully you just stay healthy, get these injuries right. And I think, you know what? There's no issue we shouldn't have we shouldn't be a formidable opponent for anyone we see on the field.
Look, Christian Boyd look good. Christian Miller look good.
Great.
We haven't seen, Vernon Brockton, John Ridgway. We haven't seen a lot of the guys that
But
really.
you got Jalen Ford looked good.
Jalen Ford
Fadil Diggs
like
looked pretty good. Like, I mean, he looked decent.
He's got an uphill battle.
He does. Rump, but I'm just saying it's not like.
But I mean, look, a lot of guys look good. I think I'm not really worried about the defense. Honestly, I think the defense is going to be all right. So, I'm not really concerned with that much. Another guy we forgot to mention, and I really, really, I just love this dude's energy. Like, just being on the field. Jeremiah Wright is a baller.
I love his locker room energy, his field energy.
This dude
as long as he stays healthy.
He just oozes energy, and you could tell it's infectious because, he's back there doing this after, he just made a block on the guy.
A guy I love to have in the locker room.
Man, I think this draft is going to go down as one of the best drafts, and I hope they all stay healthy and, kind of play up to their potential. You
got to see them play in real games first, but I pray you are right. I really do.
Yeah. I mean, that's all you can hope for.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's encouraging when you have draft picks like that
can just
and show up.
Stay healthy. Just stay healthy. What else we got?
I mean, health. Look, you're talking about Breece Hall went down today. Jeremiah Love got hurt during the game. You got a lot of
Jeremiah
guys
Love has a high ankle sprain.
Yeah. So and you got Breece Hall has a groin pull. So you got a lot of guys. Health is one of those things, man. It's the difference between making it to your destination and not making it to your destination. You have to be lucky and be healthy throughout the year to the point where, if you don't have that depth, then, your season falls apart.
Yep.
Some of these teams, find a diamond in the rough, whenever you have injuries like that, and, I mean, hell, you could be the San Francisco 49ers. They got like 42 guys out. Yeah.
True.
It's like, you look at their injury list, it's like, holy cow. It's like, you got 26 guys and it's names. It's not like,
Oh, no. I mean, it's names.
They've been waiting for Ricky Pearsall for 3 years.
And he ain't coming this year.
It's like, wow, man. And what you call it? McCaffrey's dealing with soreness and tightness in his calf. And I mean, what you call it is out with Jamal Adams out for the year.
That sucks for him, man. They said
I felt sorry. I felt sorry for him, man.
They said Brian Flores gave him the perfect role, and this sucks for him.
Yeah, I feel real bad for him.
But yeah, like you said, there's guys out. What are you gonna do about it? I mean, you just gotta next man up, and that's why we're happy to be finding these guys that can be the next man up.
Mm-hmm. That's what you need.
Yep.
That's what you need in this league. So.
All right, we got much else?
No, just waiting on LSU and waiting for that to kick off. I'll tell you a name to keep an eye on. This dude's gonna be a rock star, man. Ty Benefield. It's gonna be a stud. So, safety at LSU.
All
absolutely
right.
kill it.
Yeah, I'll tell you one too. Kamario Taylor. Keep an eye out.
Okay, I see you, Kamario. Yeah, hey, look, I'm rooting for the kid, man. I hope Kamario does show up.
We know, but I'm just saying.
I'm rooting for State. I think they're 1 year away.
That's fair. I'd agree. So,
if they have another recruiting class, get some weapons in, bulk up the line, make sure they don't hit this kid, even though he's a big old joker. All you can hope is that, he stays healthy and gives them a chance to win. That's all you can hope for.
True. All right. I guess that'll do it. next week we'll be back with more of the same preseason recap, Saints recap, but also we're going to start getting into our fantasy football analysis. That interests you, come back. And as we inch closer towards NFL season, you'll be hearing more and more from us, potentially multiple times a week. For now, it's goodbye.
You want to win your fantasy league? Tune in, because I got all the sleepers.
Truth. Peace.
Peace out.